Will Powell crash the markets tomorrow? Let's get into it here with our daily SPY analysis. Again, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Again, sales, active trader, 60% off first month and 20% off swing trades. So get involved in that while you can here. We're going to have some good volatility. But market's down 1% today. And does that mean Powell is going to dump the tape? Is the market pricing that in? To me right now, and if you'll recall yesterday, I said we'd probably be red today, and we are. So right now we're seeing a massive pin. I'm doing this video early because we're just seeing a pin here. It's a massive pin to 560 and essentially 5600. Notice how we jumped down there. Like look at all these hits here on that area, and they're just kind of keeping us in that range. Wouldn't shock me to see something like this before the close, and then maybe a bounce right back to that level. In fact, I think that may be setting up right here, but you're seeing a lot of charts behave that way. Look at Tesla right now, beeline right for 225, then just stops right there. We've got, Amazon, gapping down here today, but no follow through. A lot of charts looking like that. Meta, same thing, gap down, no real follow through. Google, gap down, no follow through. So we're kind of just pinning this market. I mean, look at Microsoft intraday. So shot down and then pretty much sideways all day long. So very heavy pit. Apple, very, very tight range for the most part. And this is the tightest range we've seen in months, really. Well, pretty much a month, as far as since the high. I think what's SPY here today, 565. Yeah, it's only like a $6 range. And really, if you take away the first 30 minutes, it's like a $3 range. So we're really tight here. I wouldn't make too much out of this, but tomorrow, I think the thesis is still the same. Right now, we're seeing some call selling for tomorrow, some last minute hedges going on. We figured volatility would bounce here. We talked about VVIX the other day. It round tripped the move, right? I mean, like there's Feb 20th, right? What was the high, right? Feb 19, right? So I would have been shocked if volatility didn't get some sort of a bid here, but it is coming off the highs right now. And again, VIX coming off the highs too, as we just kind of pin. So it's vol getting a dead cat bounce. It needed one. It was, due for a bid there, but it's kind of coming in and going, fading off the highs as we just kind of pin sideways. But my thesis for tomorrow is the same. I think the market is kind of, we have a lot of vol decay going on, and furthermore put decay, but this market appears well hedged for anything Powell says. So I think downside is limited, and our best chance for a green trend is tomorrow. Max pain for end of the week is about 580. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but I know some people like to follow it. And I do like the level, right? This wouldn't be a logical area to retrace to for the market. Why? Because, it's a perfect 50%, just about 50% fib. And in every bear market, you're going to retrace 50% to a 618, sometimes a 786, especially on the first leg. So right now, that's kind of my base case here is I think we can, if we can break above this area here on SPY, we should trend up in towards 580. I'm not saying we go up 200 points tomorrow, but maybe get to the 200 moving average at least. SPX, 5750, and then there's 5800 up there. You can see those levels pretty clear. Also, if we trend tomorrow, again, don't get too comfortable right away. This is OPEX week, so we can see a lot of volatility because the mean reversion into the end of the week as well. I do like the price action for bulls. I like how this is filled out. And honestly, I think I think the worst thing for bulls today would have been if we just floated neutral to positive. That would be the worst. That would be the worst, especially if we did something like, up. If I can get this correctly, there we go. The worst thing would be like that for bulls, because then you're telling me the market's probably not hedged. And it's still up into resistance here. Now we've kind of filled the range out, and I think there's a lot of bear confidence out there right now too. In fact, from my anecdotal experience, I think that's kind of what I'm seeing. Again, it definitely has the bear market feel to it, but the most vicious rallies come in bear markets. So we'll find out tomorrow. I expect a lot of volatility, but I think we get through that 57 handle. This should trend up pretty nicely. So we'll see if that happens. Right now, a positive here is intraday. Everybody's talking about the MAG 7, the lag 7, right? How weak they are. But if you're paying attention, you'll notice that intraday, the Qs did not make a new low on that secondary slice towards the lunch hour. And neither did the semis. The semis putting in their low at around 10 o'clock, and we've made higher lows. So again, we're seeing Mag 7 quietly outperform defensives like the Dow, which didn't make its new low till almost 130, and the Russell, which held up pretty well today. And actually, the Russell's kind of leading. No, I was taking Dow down 64 basis points. Yeah, Russell down 84, but it hasn't made a new low. Spider's down 1 and Q's down 1.5. So look for these little things here, and watch the semiconductors again. That slight outperformance is something I'm never going to ignore. If we do push down, I still think 5,400 is a really good level. So I think if we did break down, it would probably look something like that. And then you'd get your final bounce. Maybe they do need to wash out longs one more time. I think they kind of did it here, and I think there's enough event volatility for tomorrow that it kind of won't matter what Powell says. I think you're just going to get the edges will just come off. But always got to look at the other side of it. So, but that's what we're looking at. Triple Qs again. 490s. You got the gap up there. You got this trend line too. So again, that big old trend line, the bull market area. I would expect that they'd want to retest that in the 200 and maybe even 500 over the next week or so. So that's a possibility here. And then if bears want to come in, I think that's a much better place to step in. And the reason why again, the reason why I'm making these projections here is if I was short right now, I'd rather have this right than well, I guess if I had a short runner, I guess it would make more sense for it to just go straight down. But I think the better, more sustainable bear move is a bounce here and then a lower high, rather than just going from oversold to oversold again, if that makes sense. But either way, IWM here, inside day. Again, looks like 205 is kind of the line in the sand. I mean, this could really push to 215 if we really get going. Again, it won't happen in a straight line, but I mean, there's some retraces here that can happen. Dow obviously line in the sand, pivot low with the 200 right there around 420. So pretty clear levels here. SMH again, the 230 handle. Then it can try for 240, 245. There's a ton of resistance at 245 though. IGV down 1.4. Again, got to break that 200 there, and then we can look at 95, maybe 98. Transports again down, but trying to work on a higher low here too. This is way overdone. So even if this does make a new low, it's going to have a pretty sizable squeeze. But I think that support there right here may have done it right at 14.5. We obviously sliced it, but no follow through. Past that, there's the 14,000 in the gap there. So not too much lower. Rates today definitely came down. You can see the 10-year note held inside of this range. I know this kind of looks neutral. I still have a bear bias on it though. I don't love it right now. The short end's a little different. I think ZT may even get a bit. You have higher highs here, but ZN and ZB kind of with that lower high setup. But we'll see. XHB down 67 cents, still holding 97.50. That's a big weekly level. VNQ backing off after the big day today. Again, right back to the 92 handle. We also had XLF kind of pausing. So this is a strong sector really all day as well. So financials holding up pretty well. Not terrible. Bulls want to see that. Obviously. There's KRE, you got to clear 58. And then I'd say 54, 54.50 for KBE. Can try to get back to 56. Broker dealers here trying for 850. So good bounce on some of these. Oil been all over the map. We have a new contract roll though. Sometimes that first day is a little wacky. And our new level now is not, so it's no longer 68.10 because we just flipped to May. So it's 67.90. A close above that can send this to 70 pretty fast, maybe even higher. But a lot of news today, a lot of talk about ceasefire, Putin, and then we got Gaza, this, that, and the other thing. So it's getting pushed around a lot. But this was going to get pushed around anyway. It usually happens on those first day of the contract. So not surprising to see that. XLE backing off right at our trend line. I think that's good for a higher low. So I would scout dip buys on this. And I still have my Exxon, which I like right now. XOP holding up well. That's green today. Still got a ton of work to do. And OIH, again, this could squeeze above like 260 here. So if that can get a bid, you know, we might be able to see that push back up towards 280. So OIH hanging in there. Nat gas, is that on the new as well? No, it's still on H. So down today, back below 4. Or is that H? Are we on June yet? We're on April. Anyway, up at 1.1. Oh yeah, that was the old one. I don't know what I'm talking about. I haven't looked at the individual in a minute. Sorry. It's trying to hold on to 4, but not really the greatest pattern, is it? So that candle there was a top signal. That could consolidate here in the bigger time frames. Like this could just, I've seen nat gas, like this can just go sideways for a while and then try to for another leg up, much like it did, you know, like in these periods here, in this kind of almost have like a cup and handle look there. We'll see. Dollar index was up earlier, came back in. See if this can bottom on the Fed. Everybody loves Europe right now. They won't stop buying it, but I don't know. It feels a little chasey. Dollar yen above the 20 MA, now about to close right on it. So back above 150, can push it to 152. 148, 147, 148 is a good bull bear line here. I think 148 is better. Gold new highs. I did trim my UGL, which I've had for a long time now, again. And yeah, I'm thinking about 30.90 on this, when this rolls, that is, which is soon. So right now on this contract, it's 30.76. That's the number I'm looking for. I think 30.90 on the next, though, which is coming up soon. Silver, I think, will not top the same time as gold. It'll top later. I'm still looking for that to go to 38. Platinum's had a nice rebound here. I just don't really see anything good for it. And same with palladium. Copper, on the other hand, just is on a tear. Again, we'll look for 508, 510 on the next level there. It is a little, looks a little tired here right now in the short term, though. Lastly, Bitcoin is holding the lows. Not really the greatest day for Bitcoin. Looks really choppy. I think this kind of just grinds here this week. I think if it's going to get a move, it's probably going to be over the weekend. But bear's still stuffing the 200. And that's been an area that's been troublesome for it. Let's see, maybe it gets a bid with the markets on FOMC tomorrow if we can get some hedges off and get some risk on with the NASDAQ. But right now, still struggling with that 200 DMA. So anyway, we've got about an hour left, and you can see the entire time that I've been doing this video, we've gone absolutely nowhere. Again, just beeline for 56 and then flat line right there. So I wouldn't be shocked to see a dip here in the last 30 minutes and then maybe a bounce back up. I just think this is noise. Like, actually, I'm certain it's noise. A lot of noise here. This is not the type of tape you definitely don't want to overtrade this at all. Wait till tomorrow when the market actually wakes up. So, anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Again, don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I will see you guys all tomorrow.